Good morning. I want to talk about a serious subject that's probably going to take longer than just this video because I don't want to make it too long. The subject is about codependency, and a lot of you guys may not even know that you're codependent. Codependency can be about several different things. It doesn't just have to be about a relationship. Codependency can be anything that you're addicted to. Say, for instance, if you do something for someone and you want something in return when you do it, you're addicted to that thing that you want, that thing that you're saying that you're wanting in return. So the return, whatever that return is what you're addicted to. So, say for instance, a person that says something to someone and they want they're fishing for compliments and they want compliments back. So you're addicted to the return. You're addicted to getting a compliment from someone. That's being codependent. If you're in a relationship with someone and say for instance you're doing something for someone, somebody asks you to do something and you really don't feel like doing it but you do it anyway, you're addicted to the return of that. And so it goes into a lot of things as far as that situation. You have to have boundaries and be able to say no. That's another part of the codependency. But codependency is really deep. I'm going to say it's 3 parts of codependency that is very important. Starting off with the awakening. So I want to say AAA. The awakening, the accountability, and then the ascension. Because the awakening is knowing what it is. So from age 7, we're programmed into our mind and to our subconscious how we're going to act, the feelings that we've had as children, how we've been treated as children. So if you had a parent at that time from age 7, you had a parent that was never there, or you were made to feel that you didn't matter, or the things that you thought about that you wanted to talk about, or anything, your feelings were made to feel that that you weren't enough. The parent could be gone all day and then they come home and then you're still made to feel as if whatever's going on with you don't matter. Or you may have parents in the home. One can be an alcoholic and the other one could be a narcissistic parent. So you have sisters and brothers in the house, and one of the sisters is on drugs, and the brother is have anger issues. So the whole house is chaotic, and then you have feelings that you are harboring that you want to talk about, but you can't talk about it because guess what? The sister or the brother, they have issues. So you're made to be quiet and to, that your feelings don't matter because I got to deal with this child over here. Or, the parents may make choice, between the children. So you're made to feel as if your feelings don't matter or if you don't matter. So it's so many different things that can happen to you from age 7 on down that is in your subconscious. And so now, you're already programmed in your head that what you do don't matter, or your feelings don't matter, or you're not enough. So then as an adult, you grow up. Now you have this program in your head and it's there. Okay. So now as an adult, you're being a people pleaser. So now you're people pleasing, you're doing things that you don't want to do. You don't know how to say no. It's hard for you to say no. And so you have to learn how to actually reprogram your mind, because now all of this time that you've been living, all of the actions that you do, the reason why you act the way you do, and the thing is, it's not your fault. It's not our fault. And this is, everybody has some type of codependencies unless they've done a lot of work on themselves. And when I say a lot of work, I mean work from changing your whole mentality of what you were programmed in your mind. So it's like you're living in the matrix, okay, basically, because you're actually, what you're doing is a lie. What you're doing, how you're living is a lie, because you are programmed in your mind that you're not enough. And so you're living your life wondering, why do I need compliments from other people? Because you were programmed in your mind that you're not enough. So in your mind, it's still there. So now you have to go back and reprogram your whole mind, the way you think. And it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, because this is something this is in your DNA. This is who who you are. And so you wonder, why do I need validation from other people? You don't need to have validation for other people, but in your subconscious, you were made to believe that as a child, that you're not enough, or the things that your feelings are not, doesn't matter. So then you block it out, and then you act as if you don't have these feelings, and you just shut down. Okay. So then you people please, and you're doing things for people, to try to get something back, but that's a codependency. So say for instance, somebody wants me to wear a red dress somewhere. I don't really like the dress, but I'm going to wear it anyway. That's a codependent, because now I'm wearing the dress for somebody else and not for myself, to where I should want to wear what I want to wear because I like it. Or, just say for instance, if you get a new job, and you work towards better things, of course, but you don't want it to be because you want it to be better than someone else, or you want to feel as if you're better than someone else. You want to get that job because, say for instance, you want your children to take piano lessons because you need more money for that. I'm just making an example. Not because you want it to be better than somebody, or to feel as if that's what society, has me doing. Okay, so it's so many, different ways that you'll be codependent. Codependency is just really being addicted to something that's outside of yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. So, like I said, compliments. Why do you need that? It's a reason why you need that. But that's a program that's in your head, that you need that, and you don't need it. But it takes work to actually know that this is something you don't need validation from other people. So that's a codependency. You need that compliment because you're codependent on that. If you say something to somebody and you're waiting for somebody to say something back to you and you don't get it, then you feel a certain way. You're triggered. Okay. And so those triggers are things in your mind that's programmed in your head. So this is what I'm talking about as far as being in the matrix, because what was programmed from 7 on down is programmed into our minds. And so now that we've awakening to this, we have to take accountability now. So now, as far as accountability that we need to have for ourselves, it's going to be hard but it's doable. You have to do the work, because now the accountability is, why am I a people pleaser? Now, if I'm not a people pleaser, then who am I? This is what I've been doing all my life. The things that you're doing, the behaviors that we've been doing it all of our lives. So now it's like, who am I? Who am I going to be if I don't do this thing? So the thing is, everything goes back to love. Okay. It goes back to love. But so what you have to do is, you're going to have to learn that you are enough. And if you don't want to do something and somebody wants you to do something, it's okay to say no. But in our minds, we're going to think that this person is not going to want to deal with us anymore. Okay. And so we have to start asking ourselves and get to the root of the situation and ask ourselves why for everything. So, if I'm a people pleaser, okay, why am I a people pleaser? I'm a people pleaser because I don't want rejection from someone. Why? Why don't I want rejection? Because I don't want to be abandoned. Why? Why don't I want to be abandoned? Because I don't want to be alone. Why don't I want to be alone? Well, I don't want to be alone because then I'll have to be the responsible person and deal with, if I have to swim, if I have to sink, then I have to sink. If I have to swim, then I'll have to swim. So everything is going to be on me. So I don't want that feeling. But in all actuality is, Nobody can give you what you need but your higher power. Other people can be a compliment to you, but you have to be validated from yourself and from God or your higher power. You can't rely on other people to validate you. That's what we've been programmed in our mind. All of these codependencies. We need to do the work and self-love with ourselves. I did another video about self-love, but it goes into so many different things. And this situation, as far as being codependent, we need to reevaluate and sit and look at and have accountability for our actions. So if we feel a certain way, if we feel triggered about something, let's just say compliments, and we need those compliments. We need to say, ho, wait a minute. Why do I need these compliments to make myself feel good? I should be able to know that I feel good within myself. I don't need anybody to compliment me. So then you have to just hold on to your, put your emotions to the side and say, no, I don't need that. Because once you given something and you feel like you need something back, whatever that return is, that's what you're codependent on. And so those are the things that you have to work on, because we're programmed in our minds from a child. So now we're in a whole different matrix, if you want to say, that we're living in. So we have to come out of that and live in reality that those things aren't true. And it's not our fault. It's not your fault, and it's not my fault. We were brought up into these families that already had us in this mess, and they had families that were in their mess. So it's not our fault because we were brought into this. And so it damaged us, in a way that we're codependent in different ways. So that's something that you don't want to be. You don't want to be codependent on anything that you feel like you do that something that's outside of yourself. Okay. Like I said, anything, it doesn't matter what it is. If you have codependency on, like I said, about if you buy a house, and you're buying a house because this is something that you want for your family. Your family has grown, or it's something, not because you want other people to say your house is this, or because you're comparing or you're competing against someone else. That's being codependent on what somebody else is saying for you, about another validation. You need to be able to validate your own self. You need to be able to say, I'm enough. I'm gonna give you an example. Somebody asked me, why do you do some videos and you don't have any makeup on? Well, I don't need to have on makeup on every time I do a video, or I don't need to be dressed a certain way, because I'm okay with myself. The purpose is for me to get the message out to you guys, to make an impact or make a difference in your lives. If I make a difference in one person's life, it makes a difference for me. What's actually going on now is that, our higher power is, all of these things are going on once. We're actually in a paradigm shift. So he wants us to shift from that old subconscious thinking that we've been living in all our lives that's not true. He wants us to shift over to a new paradigm. He wants us to shift over into the reality of who we really are, to get to the core of who we really are. And what we've been taught as a child from 7 on down in our subconscious, that is what has made us have all these codependencies. And so I can go on over and over and longer, about this, but loving ourselves, we have to have self-love for ourselves. And when we get triggered, when somebody says something to us, or we say something and we don't want to do it and we do it anyway, it's time to love ourselves and know who we are. So that way we won't have these codependents. We won't have to feel like somebody needs to validate us. And the more that we feel, the more that we do that, we won't have the need to have to feel like we need to judge other people, or we have the need to fear other people. Because then when we are loving ourselves and the codependency is not there, that's going to lessen and decline in how we feel that we need to be codependent. We won't need that anymore. It's really something that we have to really do the work on. We have to do the work, but and we can do it and we can heal, but we have to address these behaviors that we have. Always wondering why this person didn't do this or this person didn't do that. If we're going to love somebody or we're going to do something for somebody, do it out the kindness of your heart, not to get anything in return. When you do something for someone and you want something in return, that's manipulation and that's codependency. So you want to, whatever you do for someone, do it because you just want to do it. If you're doing anything in your life, you always want someone to, of course, applaud you, but you don't want that to be the reason why you're doing it. You want to do it because it makes you feel good. So you want to start creating a new identity for yourself, and it's going to take some work. So I'll do another video that'll go more in depth with it, but when you start having accountability for your own self, then you can start to see the difference and be able to shift into a different, and when I want to say get out of the matrix, because we're all living in the matrix when we are still having that subconscious, because we're living in our subconscious, not out of the conscious mind. We're living in the subconscious mind, which is from childhood. So all the things that's going on that we do and the codependency is from our childhood. So we want to start getting a new identity for ourselves and come out of this the matrix, because that movie was something else, but it really had a lot of truth to it. When I say the matrix, I'm saying we're living in a fog. We're living in a life that's not real. We're living in something that's not true, and it's not our fault. We're living in a codependent lifestyle, and you want to get to the root and to the truth to yourself about who you are. Okay. It's going to be harder for some people than others to do the work, but that's to be expected, but it's gonna take a lot of effort, prayer, strength to do it. But you don't want to keep being the same person that you've been, and you don't even understand, why am I acting like this? Why do I do this? Why do I care if somebody, care about what I do? It's gonna take some work, because, like I said, it's subconsciously, it's there. And it's not the truth. So the things that we're doing and how we're acting, it's been, lies, and that we have been in our subconscious from childhood that